my friend Nicole called me and was like, what's going on? Did you see Justin Bieber's tweet? And I was like, about what?
So this is definitely fueling those rumors right here. Now, as for what he meant when he commented that, I guess that's up to interpretation. Either he's talking about her unreleased song, or he's talking about why she isn't supporting his new album. Or it could just be all one big joke, who knows? But I just find it crazy how he commented this a month after the IG post was made.
Justin's kind of hard to keep up with, isn't he? He's in pretty good shape, huh?
Yeah, he's very hard to keep up with.
So mean. My nose is not big.
It is big.
Your nose is big.
My nose is small.
You have a big nose.
Now it's big. Look at your nose.
It's not.
It's gigantic.
Is this a big nose? You have a big
You
nose.
can smell me from over there.
I can't smell anything.
She was just 13, a wide-eyed teenager posting covers online, hoping someone out there might notice her voice. Someone did, not just anyone, but Justin Bieber. At the time, he was at the peak of his teen idol fame with the power to turn unknown singers into the next big thing overnight. And he made sure the world knew Madison Beer was on his radar. From that moment, their connection became one of those industry curiosities that never really went away. Years passed, but the public's fascination stayed strong. Every social media interaction, every comment, and every friendly photo became a puzzle piece that fans tried to fit together. Was it simply a supportive relationship between a mentor and a young artist, or was there something more unsettling about how it all began? Hailey Bieber has always been in the middle of this storm, watching the headlines and living with the constant speculation. She knows better than anyone how quickly the internet can take a small moment and turn it into a massive talking point. Now she is finally breaking her silence. And what she says is not a casual remark. It is the kind of statement that makes people stop scrolling and pay attention. Because when a story starts with one person, barely a teenager, every interaction that follows is examined under a microscope. In Hollywood, where timing is everything and every image is carefully managed, even the smallest misstep can set off a chain reaction of questions and rumors. When it comes to Justin Bieber and Madison Beer, the story has never been straightforward. It is the kind of Hollywood relationship that looks casual on the surface, but has layers that make people keep asking questions. Over the years, they have been seen together in public, sharing laughs, posing for photos, and leaving just enough breadcrumbs online to keep the rumor mill alive. For some, it is all innocent. For others, the way their story began and the way it continues to pop up feels suspicious. Justin is a married man now. He has a wife who has stood beside him through controversies, health battles, and endless gossip. Yet, somehow, Madison Beer remains a recurring character in his narrative. The whispers about the two of them are not new. They stretch all the way back to when Madison was just a young teenager with dreams of making it big in the music industry. Justin was already an international superstar who had the power to open doors for anyone he chose to support, and he chose her. Critics point out that his interest in Madison began in a way that mirrored his own rise to fame. Just as Usher and later Diddy noticed a young Justin online and brought him into their world, Justin seemed to do the same with Madison. On paper, it sounds like a mentor helping a young artist. But for some people, the timeline raises questions. Just how he looked up to Puffy, she looked up to him.
I was a huge Justin fan before he discovered me. He's great. It's awesome that I get to have somebody who I've literally looked up to my whole childhood as my mentor. It's really cool.
She was barely out of middle school when their connection began. And even though it may have been framed as professional, the internet has a long memory and a sharp eye for moments that do not sit right. Fast forward to now, and the dynamic is still making headlines. Recently, Madison posted a set of pictures on Instagram. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a few different shots that fit her usual style. Weeks later, Justin showed up in her comments. He wrote that the fact she did not use a song from his new record for one of the slides was, in his words, diabolical. He filled the comment with emojis, making it seem lighthearted, maybe even playful. But the internet immediately split into two camps. One group saw it as harmless banter between old friends. The other saw it as yet another example of Justin inserting himself into Madison's world when the timing and tone felt unnecessary. What made the situation even stranger was the gap in time. Madison's post was from late June. Justin commented in mid-July, nearly a month later. later. That delay sparked even more talk. Why was he scrolling back through her feed to find an old post? Why was he publicly calling out her lack of album promotion when she posted before the album even dropped? To many observers, it felt like a reach, maybe even a little thirsty.
It's a big deal because Bieber made this comment 3 days ago on July 16, back when this IG post was on June 23rd. That is right, he commented a month after this IG post was made. And if you go to the comment section, there's like a bunch of things being said about this. Like, for example, the top person saying stay away from her, the bottom person saying he's a freak. I mean, this definitely does add fuel to the rumor that they do have something going on. Because I'm sure you remember this last year when Madison had her birthday post on IG and Justin Bieber responded with like heart emojis. So this is definitely fueling those rumors right here. Now, as for what he meant when he commented that, I guess that's up to interpretation. Either he's talking about her unreleased song, or he's talking about why she isn't supporting his new album. Or it could just be all one big joke, who knows? But I just find it crazy how he commented this a month after the IG post was made.
Fans flooded the comment section with reactions. Some told him outright to stay away from her. Others went further, calling him a creep. And of course, there were those who saw the entire thing as harmless and thought the criticism was overblown. Still, the fact that so many people jumped straight to the idea that something more was going on says a lot about how this relationship is perceived. It does not help that this is not the first time Justin has made a public show of affection toward Madison. For example, on her birthday last year, he posted heart emojis on her Instagram, a gesture that to some looked like nothing more than friendly support, but to others felt oddly intimate for a married man. When you stack these moments together, a picture starts to form. For Hailey, who has had to navigate a marriage under constant public scrutiny, this cannot be easy. She has faced everything from rumors about Justin's past flings to wild speculation about his current friendships. Madison Beer's name has been in that mix for years. Whether or not there is any truth to the rumors, the perception is there, and perception has a way of becoming its own reality in the court of public opinion. The latest Instagram incident is just another spark to a fire that never really goes out. It brings old questions back to the surface and forces everyone to re-examine the origins of this connection. Was it truly about music and mentorship, or was there something more complicated hiding behind the glossy images and playful comments? In Hollywood, those answers rarely come easily, and until they do, people will keep watching every move. When Madison Beer first stepped into the spotlight, many in the industry and in the media quickly labeled her the female Justin Bieber. She had the look, the voice, and the kind of social media presence that could draw millions of young fans. To the outside world, it seemed like she was on the verge of becoming a global pop phenomenon. Justin himself appeared to believe in that potential. He openly supported her, shared her music, and encouraged his massive fan base to check her out. For a while, it looked like she might follow the same meteoric path that took him from bedroom YouTube covers to sold-out arenas. But the reality of the music business is rarely as clean as the fairy tale version. Record labels did not seem to see her the same way Justin did. For all the buzz she generated online, executives were not convinced she could match that hype in album sales or chart positions. Eventually, the momentum stalled. Madison was dropped from her label, leaving her to navigate an industry that can be brutally unforgiving to young artists who lose their initial shine. Justin may have been a supporter early on, but that support did not translate into lasting career success for her. Yes, she has released music that connected with her core fans and scored a few hits. Yes, she has built a respectable following and a recognizable brand. But breaking fully into the mainstream has been a struggle. She is not headlining stadium tours or dominating the charts the way some predicted she would. This is why some people roll their eyes when Justin seems to expect public loyalty from her. The recent Instagram incident is a perfect example. Madison posted a set of pictures in late June, just regular snapshots that fit her style. Almost a month later, in mid-July, Justin appeared in the comments. He wrote that the fact she did not use a song from his new record for one of the slides was, in his words, diabolical. He filled the comment with emojis, as if to make it playful, but it still struck many people as strange. The timing alone made it stand out. Why was Justin scrolling back through her older posts to find something to comment on? And why was he publicly pointing out that she did not promote his album when her post went up before the album was even released? For some observers, it came across as oddly possessive, even a little desperate. Others saw it as harmless banter between two people with a long history. But in the court of public opinion, context is everything. When that context includes a friendship that started when she was barely in her teens, a career trajectory that never matched the hype, and a marriage that is constantly in the spotlight, small moments can take on a much bigger meaning. Fans flooded the comment section with their takes. Some defended Justin, others called him out, and many simply saw it as another chapter in a story that refuses to fade away. Whether or not Madison owes Justin anything is up for debate. Some will argue that he gave her a boost when she needed it most. Others will say that whatever help he offered was minimal in the long run, since her career today is built largely on her own persistence. What is certain is that public interactions like this one keep their connection alive in the headlines. And as long as those headlines exist, people will keep reading between the lines, searching for a deeper truth. If you really want to know how people feel about this situation, all you have to do is scroll through the comments section under Madison's post. It is like stepping into a live debate where every opinion, from the blunt to the brutal, is right there for the world to see. The most liked comment is from someone telling Justin point blank to stay away from her. Another popular comment simply calls him a freak. These are not the kind of reactions you see when the public thinks something is completely innocent. The fact that so many fans jumped straight to warnings and accusations tells you everything about how their relationship is perceived. People are not just reading his words, they are connecting them to a bigger history and filling in the blanks with their own theories. And given their past, it is not surprising. Anyone who remembers last year knows exactly why this feels familiar. Back then, Madison posted a birthday photo on Instagram, and Justin responded with heart emojis. It might have looked like harmless affection to some, but to others, it was a red flag. That birthday post set off a wave of speculation that has never really gone away. Pair that memory with his recent comment, and you have the perfect recipe for another round of rumors. Every public interaction between the two gets dissected, and this one is no different. People are asking whether Justin was referring to her song Unruly, whether he was frustrated she did not promote his new album, or whether it was nothing more than an inside joke. The truth is, no one knows for sure. It could be all in good fun. It could be a subtle attempt to get her attention. It could even be an unplanned comment he thought would come across as lighthearted, but ended up feeding into a narrative he has never been able to shake. In the world of celebrity gossip, perception often matters more than intention. What makes it all feel more suspicious to some is the timing. Madison's post went up in late June. Justin did not comment until the middle of July, nearly a full month later. That gap is hard to ignore. It means he had to either be looking back through her older posts, or he stumbled across it by chance after the fact. Either way, it does not exactly scream casual in-the-moment banter. For people who already believe something more has been going on between them, this just adds fuel to the fire. It is another piece of circumstantial evidence in a case that is built almost entirely on small public moments. Whether or not there is any real story here, fans are treating it like there is one. And in a digital age where rumors can snowball in hours, each interaction becomes another reason for the public to keep watching. This is the problem with relationships, friendships, or connections that start with an unusual origin and live under constant scrutiny. Once people decide they see something suspicious, almost anything can be spun into proof. And when those moments come from a married man and a woman he first noticed when she was still a teenager, you can bet the speculation will be relentless. Justin's marriage to Hailey has been under a microscope from the very beginning. Every smile, every frown, every handhold or lack of one becomes a headline. For a couple that has insisted they are committed to making it work, they have faced an exhausting amount of outside noise. A big part of that noise has always been about other women. Before Hailey, there was Selena Gomez. That relationship was on again and off again for years, and it became one of the most famous celebrity romances of the last decade. When Justin married Hailey, the shadow of Selena still loomed large. Fans of both women constantly compared them, scrutinized their looks, their personalities, and even their social media activity. Hailey had to deal with not only stepping into a role once occupied by another high-profile woman, but also navigating the endless speculation that Justin was not completely over his past. Every time Selena posted a song, a photo, or even a cryptic caption, the internet seemed ready to connect it back to Justin. This kept Hailey in a position where she was defending her place in her own marriage while being accused of competing with someone from her husband's history. Now it feels like Madison Beer has become another point of tension. While the nature of Justin and Madison's relationship might be debated, the public perception of it is enough to cause strain. When strangers on the internet repeatedly suggest that your husband should stay away from another woman, it is hard not to feel the pressure. Even if there is nothing romantic happening, the optics can still be damaging. Hailey knows that each comment, each heart emoji, each playful remark becomes a talking point that ends up in gossip blogs and fan theories. In the eyes of the public, Justin's pattern of close connections with other women creates a narrative that is hard to shake. First, it was Selena. Now it is Madison.
Does he still support you to this day? Do you still have any sort of relationship?
Yeah, of course. And people ask me this all the time. We spent so many years so close, and I think that we'll always have that sort of like bond that will remain no matter what.
The names may change, but the storyline feels familiar. A high-profile woman enters his life, the media runs with it, and suddenly Hailey is once again put in the position of having to deal with the fallout. This is not to say that all the tension in their marriage comes from these rumors. Justin and Hailey have faced their own personal challenges, from health struggles to the difficulty of balancing a private relationship with a very public life. But the involvement of other women in the public conversation adds an extra layer of stress. It keeps the focus away from their accomplishments as a couple and instead keeps dragging them back into the same old gossip cycle. For Hailey, it must feel like history repeating itself. She stepped into Justin's life after the turbulence of his relationship with Selena, only to find herself now fielding rumors about Madison. The circumstances may be different, but the way it plays out in the public eye feels all too familiar. And in a marriage that is already living under constant scrutiny, even the perception of impropriety can create cracks that are hard to repair. As if the current situation with Madison Beer was not messy enough, fans are now digging up old rumors and allegations that paint an even more troubling picture of Justin's past relationships. The conversations on social media have shifted from questioning his judgment to questioning his entire pattern of behavior when it comes to young women. Some of these stories are shocking, and whether or not they are true, the fact that they are gaining traction shows how quickly old allegations can resurface when new drama begins. One of the most discussed examples is his relationship with Sofia Richie. She was only 17 at the time, while Justin was already in his 20s. For many people, that age gap crossed a line, especially since she was still legally underage in many places. The two were photographed together, traveling and acting like a couple, and the backlash was immediate. Critics accused Justin of exploiting the situation, while others excused it as a youthful romance. But even those who defended him could not ignore the uncomfortable optics. Then there is the resurfaced timeline involving Madison Beer. According to some Reddit users and old fan discussions, things get even more disturbing when you look at the details. Justin was 20 when photos surfaced of him getting close and physically affectionate with Madison in a recording studio. At the time, she was working on a song that featured him. The photos were released in early April 2014, which means she had just turned 15 in March. That means when they were recording and spending time together, she may have still been only 14. And she has spoken of her time with JB and Hailey as well. Once in an interview, Madison revealed she was with the couple lately, and we were like, how special that we've known each other for so long. I've known Hailey since I was 10, and I've known Justin since I was 12. We're still in each other's lives, and now they're married with a baby. Even if there was nothing romantic happening, the imagery and the context make it look highly questionable. The idea that a 20-year-old would be that close to someone in their mid-teens, especially in an industry notorious for taking advantage of young talent, is unsettling for many people. The speculation only grows when you remember that Justin himself was discovered as a teenager and brought into a world where boundaries were often blurred. Adding fuel to the fire is another claim about his time with Sofia Richie. Before their relationship became public, there are rumors that he took her to Japan or another country where local laws regarding relationships are different. According to some fan theories, this was the source of a major disagreement between him and Selena Gomez, who was reportedly very upset about it. Whether or not that is true, it fits into a narrative that has been building for years in certain corners of the internet, one that paints Justin as someone who repeatedly overstepped boundaries with people younger than him. These claims have never been proven, but the internet has a way of keeping such stories alive. Whenever Justin's name is attached to a younger woman, old screenshots, photos, and timelines resurface. They are analyzed, rehashed, and woven into the latest drama. It is a cycle that feeds itself. Each new interaction with Madison Beer now is not just judged on its own, but through the lens of every past controversy. For Hailey, this is a nightmare scenario. Not only is she dealing with current rumors about Madison, but she is also seeing her husband's name dragged through years of accusations about questionable relationships. The more these stories get discussed, the harder it becomes for her to separate her marriage from his public image. And in the court of public opinion, perception can be just as damaging as proof. While a large portion of the internet is ready to condemn Justin outright, there is another group of people who take a more nuanced view of his past. These voices are not excusing the behavior, but they are pointing out that his own history is filled with experiences that may have warped his understanding of boundaries from an early age. Some fans remind others that Justin himself has spoken about being thrust into the industry as a child, surrounded by powerful adults who did not always have his best interests at heart. According to these defenders, Justin was only 12 when he began spending time with people like Diddy and other high-profile figures who introduced him to a lifestyle far beyond his years. The allegations about what he may have gone through during that time are troubling. In certain corners of the internet, there are long-standing claims that Justin was exposed to inappropriate situations and potentially taken advantage of by those who were supposed to be guiding his career. Whether or not the full truth is known, it is clear that he grew up in an environment where adult and child boundaries were often unclear. This is where the conversation becomes layered. Some argue that because Justin was allegedly subjected to harmful treatment himself, he may have grown up without a clear sense of what is appropriate or healthy in relationships. They say that if he did indeed pursue relationships with much younger individuals, it may have been partly because he saw such behavior normalized by the people who controlled his early career. This line of thinking does not make it right, and it certainly does not make it acceptable, but it frames it in a way that highlights the cycle of exploitation in the entertainment industry. Others push back hard against this view, saying that personal trauma does not excuse causing harm to others. They argue that being mistreated in the past does not give someone a free pass to engage in similar behavior. For them, the focus should be on accountability and the harm caused, not on finding reasons to explain it away. They believe that Justin had enough resources and guidance by his 20s to know that being romantically involved with someone significantly younger was unacceptable. So, what do you think? Comment down below and let us know. If you liked this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.